Hello! Welcome to an experiment episode of a clip session, as an obsession, but with clip session, but it's also a session where we watch clips. Clip session is the current name for this project. We're here with Annabel, Truesdale, Quisao, Balboa, Mastermind, brand follower.
And we're here with the excellent Bobby White, the mastermind of many a project, including this new one. Working title, right? But I love this clip session idea.
Our first clip is from the Gilmore Stadium Clip, which is swing dancers from Los Angeles, not just Balboa dancers. They're actually pretty much mostly doing swing. There's a tiny bit of Balboa in there, as we'll see. And we're specifically looking at the group of dancers in suits that are possibly an Italian-American group based on Louis Orchard's research. I believe the last time that we talked about it, that was the consensus, is that it's possibly an Italian-American group of kids. Anyway, let's watch! Right. So there's no music to the clip. Sorry, I'll rewind it. It's annoying for everybody that I'm clipping back. So this is them. This clip was from 1939, I think, and it's Gilmore Stadium. We've gone too far. We're not talking about those folks today. We're talking about these folks.
This little group in suits and darker clothes. Looks like the women tend to have black or more sort of muted tones. Dresses and wedges. Or not wedges, slingback heels.
We keep going past it. All right. That's my bad.
Like a classic clip dilemma where you only have a few seconds to appreciate everything that they're doing in that moment.
All right, so let's start off with the first part here. We got some multiple turns right there. And you know what? It's not common to see multiple turns in the original footage. At least it doesn't go into like a Texas Tommy, like in the beach clip, where multiple turns goes into a Texas Tommy. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other multiple turns in the 1930s footage. Not that there's a lot of 1930s footage, but there's also not a lot of multiple turns in this footage.
Right, especially not ones that are kind of longer move sequences like in the beach clip that you were mentioning.
Yeah, all right, let's take this slow, frame by frame. All right, so she's not spotting at all, which is a lot of modern followers have different ways of spotting their turns,
spotting or looking different directions that they look.
Yeah, whether it be maybe you look to the leader a little bit and then you snap around and look to the leader again, or maybe you keep your head straight into the leader and then you snap to the leader, or I guess you could do classic spotting, or some people just look right into the leader. Are there other ways that modern followers spot these multiple turns?
Interestingly, I don't think of spotting in modern swing dancing very often, though I'm sure there are various. The most common thing I hear is look in the direction you're turning, potentially. Although a perfect example of how there are so many options is that Jennifer Lee looks the direction that she's turning from. I have a tendency to just look straight ahead.
That's cool. I didn't know Jen Lee did that.
Yeah, she's just a very particular. She tried the other one and didn't like the way it felt and decided to embrace the one that she liked.
I love that. Just one's got a great belted back suit. We appreciate the belted back suits.
Very
belted back. Always looks nice.
Snazzy look, that's for sure. One thing I love about this multiple turn is that you can really see how rhythmic she is with the stepping. And she's kind of favoring one leg over the other, going down, going up, going down to the left, going up, sort of pushing off the right foot.
Yeah. So yeah. So she's got the left foot is uh the base of her weight and kind of it's not dramatically paddling around with the right
No,
foot, but
not
you're
dramatic.
definitely, yeah, I can see how it's definitely
So we get that
coming out
little,
there on the left foot.
sometimes we'll sort of refer to this is like the beach clip sort of buoyancy or pulse, but it looks a little bit like that kind of woo wah is here in this different place as well.
Yeah. Let's watch that in full time again. Yeah, it's actually a pretty smooth. We will see the beach. We'll definitely see the beach pulse in this group. That multiple turn is actually relatively smooth. I do see what you mean though. Like that little paddle motion does give it a tiny little buoyancy.
Because she has bare legs, you can see how much she bends each of the knees differently. So she's going onto her left leg, just the tiny little classic Balboa, the tiniest bit more.
Yeah.
But she's really bending that one and not bending the other one as much, except when she's picking it up off the ground.
Yeah, something that something that's always fascinating to me is seeing how much the modern scene, how many followers in the modern scene put so much emphasis on having a straight leg.
Mm.
And unfortunately, I think it stops them from getting a lot of power out of their legs
Yep.
because the bend is where you get the power in your legs. And so many, like as we'll see in this series, and probably and even a little bit later on in this one here today, there is some straightening of the legs. Those are in very specific places, and they don't inhibit the leg power as much as I think sometimes the straightening of the legs inhibits the leg power today. Um, about the leader's footwork here, we've got really twisty feet. And what was interesting is especially that first twist. That first twist, both feet twist together. They twist to the left. Now they twist to the right. Now they twist to the left together. And is I haven't seen uh, we'll probably watch the beach clip at some time in this series if it happens to be a series. And I don't recall seeing a whole lot of the feet twisting together like that. And then it breaks up and becomes kind of a counter twisting right here in the leader's footwork.
Like both opening and closing. Yeah.
Yeah. And that to me that to me more says that they weren't concerned that much about what twisting meant. They were just having a good time twisting their feet. And another interesting thing about the multiple turn from the leader's perspective is there's like hardly like in the modern era we really use that 1 2 1 2 1 2 of the leader's footwork to help drive the multiple turn as we kind of travel around the partner to help make like a life a little easier for them, which is definitely like a maxi dwarfism, I'm pretty sure. And uh, this dude is not doing that at all, or he's practically standing in place.
Yeah.
And so the followers actually working pretty hard.
Doing the turn across.
But it also looks fine.
It does.
It doesn't look like she's laborious or having to struggle. So she's just powering through those turns like a champ.
Yeah, she's got the arm hanging down in front of her face. One of those things that I don't always see the younger, dancers from this era doing, and we sort of talk about it a lot today just because I think of it as protective of the shoulder, but it seems to be working for her to help her know where to travel in order to move since he's doing less of the traveling.
And here we have, once they come together into, so first off, that come around right there is a great example of a classic old school come around where the leader doesn't reach too far around the partner. He reaches a little. It's very common for us to reach a little, but it's not like trying to wrap around or reach around that partner on that come around.
Not a lot of pivoting necessarily, just a little bit of finishing off the rotation.
Yeah, there he goes. There was his come around step. Yeah. In case we missed it, here is boom. There's his come around step. It has a tiny little bit of a reach around with the foot there, just like a couple millimeters, and then he pivots on it. The classic step behind. And this is one thing I love. This this like handhold connection. It's out here like that. We try to be more casual and more relaxed, a little more suave in the modern day. And so it's always kind of fun to see like such a like we did this really cool thing, and now this is my basic. His fingers outstretched,
Fingers outstretched,
hand out.
kind of pushing the arm forward a little bit, such that the follower's arm is a little behind
Yeah,
her.
yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
not too comfy, probably not the
right.
comfiest on the partner, especially there. Yeah, that hand is pretty far behind her back.
But now they're kind of straightening out again, sort of like a thing in motion that is part, like they'll allow their arms and their torsos to move around.
Yeah. Now, one of the cool things is I know we mentioned that we wouldn't see a lot of pure Balboa. This is one of those like tiny moments of pure Balboa. So
Yeah.
this is not all dancers back in the day combined the Balboa and the swing. And if they did, it wasn't necessarily a long time that they spent in pure Balboa. So this is a great example of a swing dancer who used a pure Balboa for like a split second,
Sort of
basically
in
in 8
between
count.
basic.
Doop doop da. And then all of a sudden he's
Separate.
out again
Yeah.
doing the out and in. But let's check out that footwork on that pure bow, especially for the follows.
Yes. What I love about the dynamic for the follow here is just how much the knees are bending again, but they're bending out. And here we get the heels flaring out in what I would say people would recognize now as more of like a Charleston kind of twisty look. But I love that they're doing this here because I think just like you were saying about the leaders twisting, it's not about are you twisting in, are you twisting out, which one is allowed, which one is wrong for the style. They're just enjoying twisting their feet. And so sometimes it's the heels that are releasing out instead of the toes.
Yeah, I mean, like if you saw a pic, if we took a, if you saw if a photographer
Still,
was there and took
yeah.
a picture
This
of
was
this
just a
moment,
still, yeah.
you might easily you would easily think, oh, I guess they're doing Charleston,
Yeah.
but it's
But
Balboa.
it's pure Balboa. And she does, when she picks up her legs, she really bends her knees. Oh, there's another really distinct heel going out in that same release, sort of Charleston-y looking release. So she does a couple of those, specifically twisty feet with the heels being the furthest point out. What? What? Twisting out?
Boom.
I get the feeling to a degree that this to her was like, let me show off some cool footwork because she so specifically makes eye contact with the camera
Yeah.
when she gets caught.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit like, oh, I'm being filmed. What's the cool stuff that I do?
Yeah. Yeah. In case you missed that, viewer, there she
There,
is.
looking.
She's looking, and her head's even gonna stay looking at the camera while the leader turns. So, like for just a split second there, she was concentrating on the camera. Great eye, Annabel. Great eye.
And then she kind of kicks her going back a little, but it's still kind of it's reactive bending and then twisty feet as they go sideways.
Yeah. So we've got. It's always fun to. We have the compartments of these moves in our understanding of Balboa today, and so you're seeing a multiple turn that's now going to go into a pure Balboa basic, which is going to open up and go into like a side scoot. Quick, quick. I think that's a slow come up. So like a side scoop, quick, quick, slow is probably what happened right there.
And also, as you're doing it in slow motion, I'm noticing, she does quick, quick, he does a slow, and they end up not exactly mirroring each other with which foot the weight is on.
Oh
See
yeah,
there?
yeah. There we go. There we go.
But they're
Now
both
on the
doing
opposites.
twisties, so it's another example of they're both twisty, they're both traveling that way. It's not breaking down between them, but they did slightly different things with the weight shift.
Booyah!